I'm getting old.
You know what I love about this time of year is when every time it snows, I always love the random people who are sitting on Queen Anne Hill in Seattle just taking video of people falling down and sliding down the hill and car accidents.
That's always good for a laugh.
Like it's fun. Like it's fun. It's just like
no, it is.
But and then that's
it's gold.
Do you think
gold?
Do you think it's gold? Do you think it's because we over here have been overshadowed by Seattle so many times that we're just like going, hey, take that, fuckers?
Yeah.
Oh, one. How many do I get?
10, I thought it
officially
was.
started the show. Well, I'm
it was
trying
10
to
last
trim down.
time.
I think I'm going to go with 5 tonight.
Wow.
That's a big trim.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Only I could drop
that's
pounds like
almost
that.
like a Brazilian wax kind of thing. So
There's a reference for everybody. Hey, before we begin, you know what's up. All links are at packfiller.com. POC Sports, everybody. Style, comfort, fit, safety, all packaged up in the great individuality that POC has brought to the sport. Just ask Jackson. Oh, yeah, he's not here. Jackson is sporting a new POC helmet for 2023, and he needs to be here to explain his choice because he chose, like, the color of the wall in the studio here, green. He chose that color because he thinks it's going to look good with the kit.
Yeah, I mean, it could be too much green.
Okay. He needs to explain himself. He has the forward style that apparently I don't have, but coming to a group ride in a start line soon, thanks to POC. Next off, Doer Activewear. Technically, wow, my mic is hot. That really popped in my ear. Technically, this is perchance our last opportunity to talk about the wonderful people at Doer. Most comfortable active pair of pants you will ever buy. Stretchy, water-resistant, breathable, and really effing styling. I said effing. Cuffed or not, you will not be sorry. These things are game changers. Check out the link and use the code PACKFILLER15. Check out your discount. Anything you guys want to say? And
the Doer thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I love them. I do. And I wish I was commuting more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the other thing about the cuff. What color is it on the inside?
Orange.
Well,
And
no.
reflective.
And it's reflective.
Well, it's got orange piping. But the whole cuff interior of that is black.
Oh.
And so when you hit your chain, you don't get marks on your freaking...
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you ask a commuter. That's another bonus thing. So
Wow.
you won't get dink marks on your cuffs.
There you go. You guys, Doer approached us a while ago, and I was really happy with I said, hey, let's do the first month, and you guys just send us pants. And so they sent us 4 pair of pants. Sorry, Jack. And we are big believers in them. So there we go. Thanks to Doer. Lastly, Untapped Maple. Great flavor, great fuel, great products based on pure Vermont maple syrup. If you haven't tried it, you are missing out. Small, easily digestible packets. And as I said, the best stroopwafels you can find out of Brussels. There we go. So let's do that. I was waiting for Paul to say, like, no, I've been to Belgium.
I have.
Yeah.
Haven't I told you guys? No? You never heard
I haven't heard the story.
Just you wait. We have some rides. Yeah.
Paul's the storyteller.
Yeah. Let Uncle Paul spin you a yarn. Well, 2022 is about to come to a close, so what a better way to close it out than to raise a glass, sum everything up, judge like hell, and make some promises we likely can't keep. Welcome to Life on Two Wheels. Welcome to the Packfiller Podcast. I'm your host, the guy trying to use his big boy words for a change. I'm Pat Bulger. I'm trying to cut it down. I said before we went officially live that I'm trying to cut it down to 5 F-bombs tonight. And does the first one I said technically, even though it's going to be edited out, it's going to be edited out.
Okay. Because the officials
We
are your
edit on this
parents.
show?
The live people heard it.
So then that's
Do your
one.
parents? Here's the thing. Do your parents listen live?
No.
They're the judges.
I don't know. They could be. That was my mom calling me earlier.
Well, that's the wild card. That's the wild
Maybe
card.
she heard it. That's one, Sam.
Yeah.
She's live texting
Yeah,
you my
exactly.
F-bombs.
She's got the true counter. She got a little clicker. Click.
Son of a gun.
Like an umpire. Click.
We got a lot to cover and somewhat truncated cast of characters. So let's do it, you guys. Who's here? The last random question of the year. I'm going to do a lot of last of the year because that's such a dad joke to say. It's like, yeah, last time you're going to poop for the year. As usual, please respond to the following question upon your introduction. If you had to pick a single word to describe your year, up to this point, 2022, with one word, what would it be? I always give a pause. Paul seems to always say he's got it already, even though he knows he's first. There we go. First of all, he's the guy who really means it this year, Mr. Paul Main. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right.
Do you really mean it this year? Is this is the year? This is the
This
year
is
of
the
Paul.
year, Paul. Yeah, that's my objective. We're going to hit that later, I guess.
All right.
You remember
Yeah.
those? Since
Yeah.
we have some questions we have to answer. So,
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
What is the word to describe
Well,
2022?
I got to have an article before this because it doesn't make sense if I say that one word. So give me an article, and that's a freebie.
An
The
article?
runs. It's not diarrhea.
Oh,
It's the runs.
Okay, the
It's
runs.
not full diarrhea. It wasn't a full-blown eagle's nest toilet-looking thing. It was just kind of runny, nasty craps.
Was it this year or last year that you like looked back and you found that you had like ridden hardly?
Yeah,
really-
that's constipation. So I didn't have.
So
there wasn't even runs.
No, I didn't have the runs.
I know we're going to take forever on this, but how can a year be described by the runs? It was just
It was pretty crappy, really. But, and I wasn't happy with my performance. And it's not like I totally wrecked the whole year, which
Yeah.
would be diarrhea, right?
okay.
Everything seems to go back to the shit whistle when I start
Yeah.
talking. So
Okay.
anyway, but so that's how I look at it,
Okay, I'll go with it. Next, he's the guy who, in essence, is the noob of the show. Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah.
And we didn't make him do anything in form of like an orientation or initiation.
I'm known for that. Just kind of like sneaking in there, and it's just like, oh yeah, Sam's been here.
Yeah.
And then he leaves the same way. You
Yeah.
should call him the wind.
Yeah.
He blows in and blows out.
Although you did, the first time you did show up, you brought that horrible malt liquor. Oh, didn't you?
Yeah,
Did you?
that was the first time. That was 211.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we
That's
need
not
a
the date.
throwback.
That's the name of the
Yeah.
nasty swill that you made us
It
drink.
was, yeah.
And it was
terrible.
warm. We had to drink it warm.
Oh yeah,
Did we?
but
Yeah.
well, by the
And
time
was it
that,
a bet? Did we?
Yeah, we lost. We
Yeah.
lost the contest or something.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just. Jax
Wow.
is not here to do the freaking cameras, so I got to do it all myself and
Well, yeah.
organize my life
There
and
we
my
go.
laptop and stuff like that. Sam, what word would you use to describe?
I'm going with balance.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a great year of balance. And what I would say with that is that, for instance, last year, the big ride across the state, yeah. 5,000 miles, and that was in a very packed season. Like, I didn't even ride on, like, the shoulder seasons. I didn't ride in the beginning of February that year or, like, in the fall, really at all. It was 5,000. It was so packed that I was just burnt out. This year, I've done 3,500 miles and more rides. They've just been shorter. And so it's like I've gone out and I get a good ride and get some fresh air and then go do other things like work on house projects or
Why don't
go
you
hiking
share?
with my wife.
Why don't you share the video that's out about your little
your
travel,
little
little
your
trip,
little
1
John.
day trip?
your
Little,
little boy's vacation.
Yeah, so people
you
can
did.
look it up so
Yeah.
you can see how
Yeah.
wrecked you were.
Yes, I was pretty wrecked. Yeah, if you look up Ride Across Washington, oh my gosh, what did you name that thing? It's in there.
He's gonna look it up.
Yeah.
But he's done. Well,
he's done a
looking
lot
up.
of
Yeah.
like professional videos, but this one was just
He even
it's
had a
Wash-
drone, didn't
He
he?
had
have a
drone
drones?
footage of
Yeah.
like if you want to see Washington, like the entire state,
The northern portion. Yeah.
northern portion,
Is it fixation?
fixations,
that's
it.
Fixations.
And it was like pedal
Cycling
something.
across Washington in 24 hours.
Yep.
There we go. From Pockets Independent. If
Yep.
you're needing that,
Yeah.
actual website.
Yeah, so I'd look that up because you'll see me, especially at the end, just
Shatter.
mumbling more than I normally do, which I'm already a mumbler. So
And they meet at your house.
yeah, exactly.
So that's
You
not.
want- yeah, if you want to know where I live.
potentially
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was.
Pixel out the address.
Yeah.
So at the end of that, I was just like, all right, my goal for 2022, right, because I was in 2021, was to be balanced with riding. And I think I struck that pretty well. I think next year I want to like do a little bit more like longer rides with you guys and all that because we had some fun days this year. But
How many numbers did you pin on, Sam? Not to put you into a corner.
And we're not counting ones that you paid for entry, but actually pin that number
Yes,
on.
pinned on. And chafe doesn't count.
Silence.
none.
No.
How many numbers did I buy?
Yeah, like 12.
Yeah, exactly. How many numbers did I actually put on? None. That's my goal for next year.
There we go.
I am going to get back to
We'll
racing.
get to that. We'll
Yeah,
get to that
yeah.
later in the show. Next, now that Nightwing is not here tonight, and he'd prefer that we don't mention his training, Mr. Secret. So I guess he's just going to keep it stealthy.
The ultimate stealth machine over here.
Right? Yeah. So I guess I'm the last person to introduce. I'm the guy with a new FTP. My word to describe 2022 is power. You guys get almost is my word. Almost. Like it's so many different layers of it. When it popped into my head, I was like, it's like we're almost to normal. Things are almost where I want them to be. I almost am proud with myself as a physical human being.
This is healthy.
It's
I know.
almost there. That's a good word.
Yeah, no, that's
I
good.
mean that is
That's
a good word. So, that's right. Yeah, everybody. The new year is going to start right now. Gentlemen, talk to me about your training. And I actually, this came to me while I was prepping for the show today. I should change that question to, how is your cycling life? Doesn't that sound like a little bit more, everybody gets a medal. I just need to, I'm just going to pat you on the back, say, hey buddy, how's your cycling life?
Yeah.
You doing good? Good. You don't have to. Everybody's here. We're all fine.
Yeah.
How's your cycling life? Guys?
I was okay, Pat. Thanks. I enjoyed myself. And,
Yeah. So how is your cycling life right now, Paul?
indoor training, which kind of sucks, but I have to say, I really like the RGT or whatever.
ya?
Yeah. There's a course that's free.
Does your guy miss a pedal? Did his foot come off the pedal every
I
time
don't
it goes
care
around?
about that. No,
Makes me fucking
no. Two.
makes me stinking crazy.
Yeah.
The guy's pedal comes off the pedal stroke.
Mine never has.
It's like how a downhiller rides. It's just like
Mine never comes off the pedal. It doesn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe
No.
it's just me.
The only thing is,
got my body weight
the
in it.
avatar is. I'm not into any of that, so it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
So there's no blonde hair you could put on your avatar. Mm-hmm. But I got a Belgian jersey, so that's awesome.
That's cool.
Oh, so you care about some things.
Well, if I have to look at something with pride,
Okay.
not something like, I don't know, volcanoes and underwater riding. That's stupid. But I was a little bit disappointed because they had snowflakes, and when I went to ride on Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and even yesterday, I had a stupid Santa hat on. The avatar did.
Everybody listening to this show right now is saying one word. Hamburg.
Hamburg.
And they have these snowflakes, but there's one route that's this big rectangle, and it's awesome for. I did my a 2.5 hour just at zone 2
In a
And-
rectangle. 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but it's like a crit.
They're small courses. They're short.
They're very
courses
short
on
courses.
RGT. Yeah.
But the thing is what does it matter? I mean, you're not really going outside, right?
Yeah.
And if you've done enough Zwift,
But you're just
doesn't
watching
matter.
this character going.
No, because you got other people, and then you have the thing is there's two segments that are sprints. One's 400 meters, and it's a false flat, and then the other one is like a kilometer, and that's like when I do intervals. So I'm like a crit and stuff and attack, and it's awesome and it works out great. I mean, it's kind of set up like a crit, and every time there's a leaderboard top 10, and I see I can look and see where my all time, and I can see where I'd be on that board, and if I think I can get in that top 10, then I'll really go after it, and so yeah, I mean, I've had some great interval workouts, some long rides on there. I did one on that same course. I did 45 minutes in zone 2, and then I did zone 3 with intervals every jump, so it's like, I think it's almost a 5 kilometer course. So I was, as soon as I attacked and did the 400 meter, I dropped down to zone 3. I didn't even rest, and then I had to hit the kilometer sprint, and it was awesome.
See,
So
By the way, Wahoo. Oh,
pop.
Wahoo is, in case you guys didn't know, A sponsor of the
That's-
Packfiller podcast.
yeah.
So I just fit that in. Paul just gave him like the best advertising
Yep.
read I've ever heard.
Yep.
And it is warm in here,
the
isn't
other
it?
one, I
it's
think,
really freaking
I
warm
love
in
it.
here.
I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
damn,
I got to get acclimated
just
because I'm
felt
going
that-
to Palm Desert. Anyway, so.
Son of a bitch.
But the
Is
other
that
one
okay?
is.
Can I say son of a bitch?
Yeah.
Or is it just F-bombs?
It's the F-bombs, I
Okay,
guess.
okay.
But the other one I want to plug too is Leuven, if you want to do intervals, because they have these climbing segments.
This has
and they're
gone
punchy
a long
climbs.
way from how's your cycling
Yeah, but
life?
I really think this is a good, if you want to do intervals, there's like a series of 4 in a lap, and it's awesome. Just try it. I mean, just give it a whirl.
Yeah.
You can't do that one unless you pay, but there's a free one.
First
I
one's
know, it
free.
starts with a B. Yeah, there's two free
That's what the
courses.
drug
on
dealers do. First one's free.
there. Yeah, you watch.
Next thing you
You'll
know,
be an
you're,
addict like me.
next thing you know, you're twitching in the gutter like somebody from Train Spotting. The baby's dead.
Oh my gosh.
Baby's dead.
That scene messed me up, man. That scene messed me
that
up.
movie messed me up.
Yeah. Sam Waples, much more
Short and
reduced
condensed.
version.
I can keep this sweet.
Yeah, how's your cycling life, man?
Good. Yep. I've
Good. All right.
leave it at that. I'm gonna be the new Jackson and take
Yeah.
that role over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in trouble without Jackson here tonight. So
Yeah, we
Number
are.
one, I apologize for the cameras on the live stream because I'm in control of them and I forget. And
Yeah.
so it'll be like 45 minutes of just like me. Nobody needs to see that. My wife turns off the lights every day.
That's so perfect.
They might be playing a game. He's going to go for his nose. $10. $10. He's going to eat it.
The
Spalding.
sales kid picks his nose. Yeah.
Jackson. And so I would say that short.
You got
and
like
condensed
9
is-
days in this week, didn't you?
No,
9
I think
days this
I
week.
did get 5. I really wanted 6, but I was just cooked yesterday. I did not. I was like, I need a day off.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I rode like I think most of my rides were 45 minutes to an hour. One of them was like 2 hours.
Did you guys
Two
do
of them.
Christmas Day?
Yes. Had
Really?
to, and I did it in a cold shower. Get on. What up? What up? Get on my level.
Did you ride Christmas Day, Paul?
We used to do Christmas Eve when the kids were little, and then now it's switched to Christmas Day, and that's when I go over to my daughter's house and watch the grandkids open.
So
up.
you did not ride on Christmas Day?
Oh, I always ride. I rode on Christmas Day. Are you kidding? I was
Oh.
going to eat like a pig.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
did.
So I rode Christmas
Let's
Eve
give
and
him
Christmas.
a complex. Right
Yeah.
now.
Well, too late, man.
and the day after.
Come on.
I rode like 4 days in a row.
I
I did
started
not.
podcasting in 1999 because I had a complex. This just helps me get it out of the system.
This is my therapy.
It is.
Some people pay thousands for therapy.
Yeah.
Pat built the studio.
Yeah.
Just built the studio.
Still
Pretty
cheaper.
much on par.
Yeah.
Well, depending. I did 4 days this week,
Good on you.
so I was happy with that one. And I like you, Paul. I have a training plan on system. Just the generic training plans, kind of like you on Training Peaks, and I follow it pretty closely. But if there's a day where I'll get on the bike and I'll look and it's a video that is everything is in zone 1 or zone 2, and I'll be like, I'll just go over to Zwift and screw around over there for the same amount of time. But like you on RGT, I also find myself going to a climb, going, there's a little ghost guy showing me how fast I did it last time. I gotta beat the ghost guy because I don't want to be. Nobody wants to be Pat, especially Pat of the past. And so I gotta beat Pat of the past. So I'd be the new Pat. And then I'll sprint up it, or there's some guy that'll come along and he'll say, "Hi from Ohio," and I'm like, I gotta beat that jackass, because
On RGT?
no, on Swift.
On Zwift.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So I'll do all that kind of stuff, and then and I'll end up going way into the red on a climb, or
Yeah.
there's this
10
split
minutes
here,
in.
yeah. And so I did that, and then today I did an FTP test, as I had mentioned. I feel that complete honesty with our listening audience is critical. Hi, Jackson. By the way, Jackson got my best Christmas present in front of where he's supposed to be sitting right now. I told you guys before the show last week that when I'm working on upgrading the mics in the studio here, and Jackson's mic is the new mic.
Not being
And it's
used.
not
And then
being
he's not
used.
even here.
And out of spite, I put his glasses, his Spider-Man sunglasses that are hanging on his microphone right now from when he was a child, because I found them while I was cleaning out more stuff. I can still clean out more stuff, you guys.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah. So FTP, bikes. I did the half Monty on
So it's different than the full frontal.
full frontal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Full
you gotta
frontal
love
is
one.
an hour.
It's more like a ramp test.
Yep.
This is still 58 minutes.
Is it?
But yeah, the full frontal is 2 sprint efforts, a 5-minute effort, a 20-minute effort, and then another 1 minute at the end. So it is a full meal deal. It'll tell you your multiple different maximal aerobic power. It'll tell you your sprint. It'll tell you all this kind of stuff. The half Monty is it's a, what did you say earlier? Step, slope, ramp test. And then after you finish that, it tabulates a heart rate that it wants you to stay in a specific zone. So like for mine today, it was between 141 and 146. And for 20 minutes, you stay in that zone as close as you possibly can. And at the end, it only updates your maximum aerobic power and your FTP. And so that's how it figures it all out. And for me, 145, 146 is, I could sustain it. It's under my FTP, my heart rate. And so you just go on. You're just, it's an effort, but it's not like gut bunching effort. So both numbers went up. My FTP's at a 301 right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mine's 244.
Yeah, I just need to be a lot lighter. My
Mine's
maximum
like 284.
my MAP. Let me look here. I should have had this up.
Here's the deal.
But here's
He when he's dragging ass, we just start whipping.
yeah. I'm gonna rib him
Yeah,
hard.
that's right.
Because here's the other thing: is that
We're
like
gonna berate you like,
Yeah.
Come on, FTP.
301 watts on pack.
Well, you know what the funny thing was is that's not my highest FTP. My FTP in years past has usually been like 320.
That's I don't think I've ever seen. Oh, that's not true. Back in my racing
I think
days,
that's
was in the threes.
I think that's my 1 minute.
My FTP right now is 305. My MAP maximum aerobic power is 366.
That's a
Now,
good
Now
number.
we know
It
where Jackson
should be.
gets it.
It
Yeah, I
should
know.
be.
Well, he's twice that.
In February of 2021, it was maximum aerobic power 393 and the FTP at 329.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want to be again. But I also want to be a
You
lot lighter.
You are older too. I'm sorry
That was
to
a
say.
year ago.
Oh, okay.
It was
Then you're right.
2021. No, yeah, February
There's
2021.
more gray
so
in the
2 years
beard,
ago.
more skunk in the beard now.
Just more anger.
Yep.
God, see, I keep forgetting to change the cameras. Jackson? Hey, guys, before we get to the regular show, how was your Christmas? Did everything go well?
That's good. Yeah.
Any Christmas gifts that are cycling related?
Yeah, you guys are gonna make fun. God, I opened this and I thought I'm gonna get made fun of for this, but you know what?
Sam, I want.
Screw you guys. Screw you.
What'd you
Give us a
get?
chance first. Before
No, I'm
you-
not, because I know what it is. I know I got one of those radar things for the back of the bike.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Is
you
it
know
gonna
what?
Beep. Is
No, it will
gonna
not.
Beep?
No, it will not.
Like car back.
Nope. It has a light on it, so the light will always be on.
Okay, so
But
describe this
It's
item. And
I
will
have it
try to
only
be nice.
set. I have it only set so that if there is a car on my trajectory, it'll go beep 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 beep. But
like coming behind you.
no, on my trajectory, like it's coming, behind me, but at me,
So-
not by me.
It's a computer's way of saying you're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're
Pretty
gonna die,
much.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, because
Get out of the way is what it's saying. And like, I would just like to say, part of that is like going gravel roads. You know, like you're out there in the middle of nowhere and you
that's-
don't. And so like, I want to know if I have like an earbud in or something, if a car is coming up, right? Like most of the time you can hear them coming, but I've been startled out there. And most people on the country roads are pretty friendly, but I have it for that, and then I also have it for because David and Kenzie, close encounter.
Yeah, you guys had a big
So,
scare. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Okay, I will not bust your balls.
No, I'm not
because
busting your
that-
balls.
That's yeah.
oh, you know what? Then screw you for not busting my balls.
Nah,
Screw you guys for taking the higher road. You're not winning here.
I'm not gonna bust your balls because it's. I remember we did a Thursday night thing where a car came up and the entire peloton was chirping.
Yes.
It's just like, what is that noise? Why?
And I've been out on group rides where it's like they let you know every single time a car is coming up behind you, and it's like
car back, car side, car 3/4 front, car
Oh my
front.
God,
It's like,
that's
Airplane.
so
Yeah.
obnoxious. But no, like it won't be beeping when
Okay.
it's gonna be beeping if we're gonna die.
Who's the manufacturer? Who made it?
Garmin.
Garmin?
Yep.
Nice.
Which I have all Wahoo stuff, but I don't think Wahoo makes a rear radar.
I don't know.
So when it goes off, is your head unit?
Your head unit starts blinking. Death, 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 death,
Yeah.
death, death.
Yeah.
See, I'd rather just
Die.
if I'm gonna get hit. Yeah, I don't want to hear
Yeah,
it
but you
coming.
don't
I don't
like
want
it.
that fear. To just like lights out. Perfect.
You don't want
It's
to
like a light switch.
You,
Gone.
all you have is a moment to go, what the?
No, not now, God. You know. Beep beep beep. No, God. You know.
I still have things to say. Oh my God, that's morbid.
I cheated on the contest.
My FTP's really 125.
Yep.
I'm a Zwift weight doper. Paul, did you get anything cool for Christmas cycling wise?
We don't do gifts. We give
for
give gifts. My
God's
wife and I've explained this 100 times that our birthdays are both in January, and we were paupers when we first got married. We spent everything on our kids, and then we liked that. We just like that. If we have any money left over, we always travel to Europe, so we save that. That's our gift to each other. And I guess my gift will be going to Palm Springs.
That's nice.
What is a
Or
pauper?
not Palm Desert,
Popper?
excuse me.
Pauper. Pauper. Like
That's
poor
a poor
person.
person.
Yeah.
Oh. Never
The
heard
Prince
that
and
term.
the
Yeah,
Pauper?
right,
You've
right.
never read the book Prince and the Pauper?
Nope.
Wow. You must have went
Is
to
this
Ferris.
back from like 1910?
Did you go to Ferris
I'll
LC?
see.
Oh, I should have taught you that. I wouldn't blame
Should
you
have
if you're
taught you that.
you're reading Shakespeare, any Nietzsche.
Art of War.
I don't. I'm just trying to think what I got for Christmas, and
You
I
got
don't think
mics.
anything was cycling related. I got a
Really?
mic. I got the new mic. But
Cycling related.
podcast related. Yeah. And so the other two I'm having to buy tonight. And I know Jack's screaming at his phone right now going, "Where's the fourth one, Pat?" It's like, Jack, when you're here, we'll let you use one of the good mics, I promise. But I know he is. I know he is.
Oh,
And
there goes my phone.
I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
get,
just
yeah,
kidding.
I'm gonna get a random text in about a day and a half where he's listening to it. But by the way, I hope Jack's okay. I don't know if you guys saw
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He sent
Yeah,
footage.
flooding.
His
Yeah,
house,
his house
is
is
floating
getting
out to
flooded.
sea.
Yeah, I had to vacuum the entryway to the studio 3 times. Over.
That's a concern.
Yeah, it's water's on the verge of coming in. But anyway, I keep jumping around. Nightwing got some cool cycling stuff. I do want to say he's a spoiled rotten brat. He got the new POC helmet, and he got a. By the way, I'll be mentioning this. He got a new pair of Giro, those SLX.
Oh, really? Did he?
Gorgeous shoes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah. And I've also come to the conclusion that I don't think I like king crab after Christmas. I don't know about you guys, but we had a Christmas dinner. We were all excited. We usually do kind of a surf and turf thing, and we did that. And we had king crab this year because Dungeness is out of season. And it's so salty. Do you guys?
No,
I don't do
Did you get
seafood.
that? You don't do seafood?
No,
Okay.
I
Really?
don't like it.
All right.
I don't like fish, actually. It's like we used to do with CP and our wives. We used to do that lobster
Lobster,
fest.
yeah.
But that's about it. Once a year is fine when
Yeah.
we did that, but I could pass.
So king crab, that's what you had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cost
I'll
fortune
avoid.
too.
Yeah, I
Cost
know.
fortune too. Dungeon is so much better. You guys got any plans for New Year's Eve? Any? And I'm not. I can talk cycling, but we can talk not cycling. You guys do anything?
No, I will say, I'm going to be in bed at 9. I don't really care. I don't care.
You're the oldest guy.
I am. I will be in bed at 9. I have no interest in staying up to. Every year I'm woken up on 4th of July and New Year with fireworks at midnight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you freaking youngsters, go to bed.
And that's
then,
me shooting fireworks.
Yeah, exactly.
He drives to your
Yeah.
house. He saw the address on this video on YouTube, and he goes over there and he blows off shotgun blasts.
with those. Remember in the World Cup in Brazil, they had the
Yeah, the wob, 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 wob.
No,
Yeah.
not
No,
the
it's just those
didgeridoos.
horns. Just the
Yeah,
horns.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
outside
yeah.
my bedroom window.
yeah.
You're the worst.
Happy New Year!
So I will be in bed, but I want to bring it back. I want to do something epic on New Year's Day, maybe, because I have it off.
used to ride. We used to have a ride.
If the
rain or
weather's
shine.
decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we would we did over in Bellingham. Granted, weather was like it's west side, so it's nice, but nice enough. We would do a 100-mile bike ride on New Year's Day.
Good
Nah.
God, not gonna happen.
It was awesome. It was there was like 50 people would show up. The pace is that we're moving at 20 miles an hour. If you have to stop, good luck catching back on. Like it was just like there was a bus that was moving, which was so you'd get done in like 5 hours. It was rad.
No.
I will have a hangover on New Year's Day. That is a given.
So we're riding.
But I would be if we had wet roads, I would ride.
Yep.
Let's set up something at David's. I think he's gone still. We can just take over his house.
Yeah.
Out in the shop.
Yeah.
We'll do something epic. We can do like a 2-hour ride.
Is his espresso machine in that room?
It's
Oh,
in
you're
it.
talking about
It's in the
an
basement.
indoor ride, a digital ride.
Yeah.
Oh.
We can
Lost
go
ball.
for an actual ride,
Yeah.
but like I think it'd be like we can actually set up the garage, bring over our trainers and do something epic. Or we can go outside if you guys want to.
As long as it's not icy, I'll ride.
Yeah,
I'll ride New Year's Day.
yeah. That was
I've
always
done
a
it
good
for
thing.
years and years
It's
and
gonna
years.
be icy.
Yeah,
Well, it
Yeah.
isn't.
it is. It probably is. So you guys, before we get to the point, let's. I know I'm really horrible on time management today. Checking the headlines in the sport, brought to us by our friends at Scratch Labs. You know what they do. You know how great it tastes, and you know it works. You know the recipes. You know the choices. Heck, if you don't, you'd better. Scratch Labs. Get to Packfiller and click on the link. Keeping up with the cross. I don't know about you guys, but I watched it today while I was doing the test.
Awesome race.
Oh my God! Wout van Aert outsprinted Mathieu van der Poel in the on the motorsports tarmac on the Zolder Raceway. Zolder to win the 5th round of the Super Prestige Hudson Zolder in East Belgium. That's a really cool voice. I gotta use that in something. I don't know where that came from. Just completely neck and neck. I mean, they marked each other and just powered off.
From halfway through
Yeah.
the first lap.
And it was Lars Vandenhaar held off Tom Pidcock for 3rd place. I now know that Paul and I are watching. Sammy, have you been watching any of the cross season this year?
I've been watching some of it. I actually watched the highlights of that one because Wout van Aert broke Matthew's streak, right? Isn't it like of this
I don't
race?
know.
Like it was.
Oh,
I
of
think
this
he's won
individual
5
race?
of
I
them.
don't know. Last year, I
There are
don't
4
think.
of them.
I don't know if he raced it, but Matthew did not do so well. He didn't race that much in cross last year.
My God, I feel like
So-
I think that he's won.
But he might have been.
4 of these.
Yeah,
I think
probably
this
the
was
ones that
broke- yeah.
that he's entered, maybe. So, but maybe he did race it last year and he won it. I can't remember, but he did not have a good season last year. Did you watch yesterday's race? Though?
I have not watched yesterday.
That's another good one.
But that was Matthew, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a monster.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I forgot how much it is kind of nice to sit down and go, all right, this will be over in an hour.
Yeah.
I'll watch the women's earlier in the day, and I'll watch the men's later in the day, or something like that. Or like today, I was doing a test. I was like, "Well, the test is 58 minutes," and I can look up and go, "Oh, they probably feel worse than I do right now," and just keep going. So it was. I Pat Bulger like watching cyclocross.
Okay, but
I don't like riding cyclocross, but I like watching it.
that's fair. So then I would roll this over to like criteriums.
Mm-hmm.
If you could watch a criterium like you can watch the gravel races, would you?
1,000%,
Hour-long.
yes.
Yeah. I've watched all the Tulsa
Tough,
Tough stuff
yeah,
that
yeah.
I can. And it's not
I
really
don't
highly
think that-
professionally done either.
Yeah, totally. And
Now,
like, it's fun, but I don't think that it's as fun as cross.
No,
And that's
it's
coming
not.
from a person
No,
who I
absolutely.
think
Oh, no,
like
I
I would
disagree.
jump in
I
a crit.
disagree.
You think a crit is more interesting than cross?
They're
Yeah.
strung out in a line. Like there's not really that much changing for an hour, right?
Yeah.
Like
I guess it's because I know what I'm looking at.
totally.
That's true.
But like I just think that it's pretty rare that you actually see much going on. There's some races where you'll get like a breakaway group and the peloton's still working behind, and it's like, are they going to catch them? What's going on? It's a group moving. Like that's fun, but cross
Well,
like you had so many different obstacles and things.
Well, that's true, but several years ago, it was either the race was over on the first lap. It was Van der Poel pulled away, and I even heard rumors that he couldn't attack until 2 laps because it was so bad. There was.
Matthew,
it was so.
Matthew, be nice.
Be nice, play nice, will you?
Come on.
And so sometimes it's really boring. This season's been pretty good because, even Pidcock and Matthew and Wout, those 3 didn't start earlier, so everything was established. And those guys like Swake is leading in the World Cup and that type of thing. So, so it's kind of interesting. And these guys come in, and it's like. There's a 3-man race. Well, actually, a 2-man race. Pidcock is not really having a great year this year on cyclocross. I mean, it's for him.
I think
he's doing a really good job, but he can't even.
Well, that's
2 years ago, or even last year, he was right there. And now it's like, no.
That's where I wanted to go with this. Is asking you guys, and this always seems to come up when we're talking about the cross season. We saw an amazing dominance by 2 riders today in that race. We've seen one of those guys pretty much win everything except that snow cross last 2 weeks ago.
Well, won it last year, by the way.
He did.
So
is this a good thing for the sport? Are there people who are just going, oh my God, this isn't fair? What about? I mean, are we in the middle of this? Probably one of the most amazing rivalries in the sport ever. And is it good for the sport, or is it kind of, well, it's just going to be one of Wout or Matthew,
I would throw that back to you guys, like back in the day of the Badger and Lawrence and
Fignon and stuff like that. Yeah.
Was that entertaining?
Absolutely. It's great for the media. I think this one's unusual, of recent time. It would have been Bonin and Cancellara.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those two, but it was only in the Spring Classics. That was about it. This is like cross.
Year round.
Yeah.
It's
Spring
bleeding
Classics.
into the whole year.
They're constantly together. I heard something interesting in the today is that they had the thing that makes cross so unique is how accessible it is. I mean, even road cycling is getting away from it a little bit, but they were able to take the camera in to Wout, and his wife's there with his son, and the dog's in, and it's nice and calm. They go into Matthews, and he's with his brother.
And he's saying, don't knock on the door!
They're listening to techno and going... and just, getting all jacked up. It's just 2 different styles, and kind of... It's like, peeling back the curtain. I like that type.
Yeah.
And I think that makes cross a little more personal.
Yeah.
And they're going by slow enough, and so many times, like in a cross race, that the crowds are nice. I mean, Belgium, obviously, it is a thing, so.
Beer and frites.
Yeah.
Sit there. I mean, what a
Beer and
great
frites.
way to spend an afternoon.
Yeah,
Man.
no kidding.
Yeah.
We had one.
Pour
race.
me home.
We had one. Yeah, we had one race here where it was that, and it's at the Big Barn Brewing Company.
Yeah.
And you go there, and I was
Had
standing
a
there with a
blast.
pint, just
Yeah.
watching riders go by,
Yeah.
going, "Man, that looks like it hurts."
Sucks to be you.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
I'm going to get another beer.
So it's such an interesting time, and it's funny that you mentioned, Sam, that you mentioned like Bernardino and Laurent Fignon or even Le Mans or something like that, and we're at a time where if you even look at the Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard and stuff like that, we're seeing these heated rivalries, but I don't know if I've seen one that is this, just.
It's a seesaw.
Because it's not bitter. It's not
No.
bitter. These guys are respectful towards each other, but I'm sure behind their back they're just like, oh, I want to kick that guy's ass. I just want to kick that guy's ass. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful bike racing.
It is.
And it's been so much fun to watch. I'm going to skip a couple stories, but for the sake of time. Have you guys heard of the NCL? I think
National
we've talked about this.
Cycling League. Yeah.
Yes, we've talked about this on the show a little bit, but they've actually first pair of teams has been invited to participate in, and I'm using somebody else's words, and I'm going to circle the word fledgling, professional series of criterium events. Miami Knights and the Denver Disruptors. God, I hope the Miami Knights kit looks like Crockett from Miami Vice. Just the pink and white. Wouldn't that be cool if it was like a white jacket and a pink shirt underneath?
Yeah, linen looking style. Yeah, baggy pants.
And they all pull up on Ferrari Enzos.
Yeah.
8 rosters of 8 men and 8 women, earning opportunities in rider development for the sport of cycling. And I'm going to just kind of paraphrase here. $1 million prize apparently at the end of this whole thing. Up to 12 teams, each required to include 6 men, 6 women, expected to receive invitations to compete in the 4 crits in the next year, beginning in Miami in April, followed by races in Atlanta, Denver, and Washington, D.C. The dates and exact course venues have not been disclosed at this time. Red flag. Anybody got that one? Anybody red flag that? I mean, we're here approaching the first of the year, and they don't have the dates of the courses yet. That scares me a little bit.
They have enough backers that they can financially
Do they?
push stuff
I mean,
through.
I know
If you have
very
$1
little
million
about it.
purse,
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was.
they have to
touched
guarantee
on,
that.
Yeah, I touched on that. I don't know, a week or two ago about how like one of the NBA all stars just pumped in a bunch of money, and they're now up to like $7.8 million in the last few months that have like donors or.
So this is according to somebody else. Scoring in league events include points for the top 3 riders on each lap of a race, with double points on the final lap. Yikes. So the traditional winner is not determined by the first racer across the line, technically. The distribution of the $1 million prize is at the conclusion of the 4 events in the inaugural year will be based upon a scoring system that rewards teamwork, combining scores for men and women, and the team with most points will win $700,000 with lower prizes for 2nd through 5th.
There's where I have a
Legion's
problem.
team, right?
That's where I have a problem. On your other podcast,
Yes.
David mentioned that he's a big track rider. If you haven't listened to it, it's a great
We
little
say
podcast.
Cycling Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great guys. Yeah,
And-
I love that show. It's fun to
And
do.
he brought up he's a big track rider, but he understands because you guys were talking about the track series that was over in Europe.
Yes.
And trying to get people into track racing. And standard, like, of course, if you're a track person, Madison is like chaos.
Yep.
You don't know what's going on. You're just sitting there. I mean, no wonder
but
people
those-
just drink. Yeah, it's like who's leading, that type of thing.
Yeah.
This point system, so somebody crosses the line, you're thinking they won, but they didn't because they were 3rd place last race, so it doesn't really matter. They just need. It's too complicated for those to watch. Other than you're just going to watch blood and guts. You know what I mean?
I just
yeah.
got it. I just saved their entire format. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Preems that are points based
There we go.
instead of every
so
lap.
like the original
Instead of every
idea
lap.
of cycling?
Yeah.
But put points for the win of the race. So let's say you got to finish with the most
Make it a
points in
points
the
race. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but I mean, like, 'cause-
but they only award points, and then the final point sprint is worth more than double. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
let's say a preem, and you could do different preems at different points at different times. You could do like this one's for 5 points, this one's for 12 points, this one's for 25
Yeah,
points,
random.
and then
Yeah.
the finish is 100 points or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Or
I
even
mean, that's
50.
like back
Yeah.
in the day when I was doing stage races, you'd have preem laps or time. Like you'd get a 5-second bonus.
Yeah.
Same concept, right?
I think anything, but when somebody, to make it simple for those who are watching or not familiar
Yeah.
or just come across it, the person who crosses the line first is very simple. That's the person who won that race.
Yeah.
If it's like, oh, they really didn't win because this team's ahead because they scored more points, and that's like, that's like trying to explain somebody American football that's never seen it before. It's like, what the hell's going on? There's
So
too
is it-
many different things.
Is it the team wins or an individual wins at the end? That's my question.
That would be my question too.
I think it would be
because-
team if it's a league, so you would think it would be a team, and that's why they're doing it that way, not an individual, which breaks tradition
My
even now.
head's starting to hurt.
Yeah,
But
I would-
again, you're going to put too much thought into this, and people just want to see bike racers go fast.
But
Yeah.
I think that can also be achievable, like having point system and all that for like, you need to have that tracked. Like, I mean, I couldn't keep track of points in a football game unless it's 0-0.
This has to be televised.
Like, it
has to be
televised, and there has to be like
with
a bar
graphics and
that's like
stats and announcers telling you
Miami
who's doing
just scored 3 points,
Yeah.
and then it shows their overall for that season. Now they're at 360 points or whatever.
But
So-
going back to what, like my conversation about track, you can have all that information. It's just it goes by so fast. I mean, those guys are going 30 miles an hour, and they're like, then all you're relying is the announcer, because you're like, who crossed? I mean, it was the Denver guy, but what number doesn't matter. Oh, this team's it's too complicated.
Or if you had the technology to slow-mo every single lap finish to show me a quick 2-second blurb of the riders going across the line, and I can see. But then again, like you said, I don't want to have a scorecard out in front of me, and is a race? I mean, I got so many questions. Is a race just 2 teams at once, or is it 12? Because there's only 4 races, so there's all the teams are going at once. So it just sounds like mass chaos. So I personally feel, because cycling is it is a team sport, but usually a team sport geared toward an individual at that particular stage or race or whatever it may be. You say, okay, we're gonna throw, like a points race, every 5th lap, we're gonna go a preem lap or something like that, or we're gonna randomize the preems and just mess around with people, and then all of a sudden the last lap we're gonna throw a huge point total out, and then the winner could technically be the person who wins the last lap.
Yeah, see,
but it doesn't have to be.
I like the randomness, because then the team has to gather and somehow communicate.
Yeah,
this is only a 5-pointer. Let's sit back. We know there's a 12. We have to wait. We don't know when, and so they have to organize themselves in a kilometer, which would be exciting to watch. You're going to see a lot of things happening. So I like that idea.
That'd be chaos.
But I like also the idea that if a team wins, if you have different courses, if you have a crit course that's flat and pedaled around corners, the typical 4-corner crit that's boring as hell, but very fast, or you have something like the old Manitou crit. There's an uphill. The average crit, the track rider that goes and does crit races is not going to do well on that. But if you have a team member, you have different team members doing that, and you develop a strategy for, okay, at this one at Atlanta, this is flat, so we're working for this guy and this. So then the team really does win the overall. It doesn't have to be an overall person. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like that idea, that if that's what they're aiming for. And I like your idea if it's random, like they don't know what lap is what, and just like the hot laps that we used to have to endure when you're racing against the pros. Oh shit! But hang on. Here we go.
Yeah. Or when you go to Milwaukee for Super Week, I just dated myself there, but you'd go there and then it's 100 laps.
Is that where Super Week started? Because I always knew BC Super Week.
Nah, well, I don't know. Milwaukee was kind of ironic because it was a Super Week, but it was like 14 days. I mean, it was just
it was 1 2 week. Yeah. Now they have it in that area, and it's not every day, but it's like, I can't remember. It's like every other day, or maybe 2 times a week, 3 times a week.
This was just, and they were all. It was. I think there was an overall, but there was also an omnium. So if you dropped out of a race, you could still race the next day.
That's super cool.
It's just like every
until you
junior,
cross the bridge that you had to make your fist,
move your fingers. Yeah,
you'd lose your fingers if you stick your fingers in the hole.
It was a cheese grater.
Yeah,
great bridge. They rode us over and it was raining, and they said, "Hey, if you crash on the bridge, make sure to ball up your hands because you will lose your fingers." I'm like, what?
That's what you're thinking about when
Mom?
you go down.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm coming home. I can't drive though.
Yeah, I think every junior worth his salt had a parent who said, "I'm sending you to Milwaukee. Here's an airplane ticket." Back in the day. And we just went. So at least that this league is thinking about ways to make the sport, to grow the sport, to change it, to make it maybe more user friendly. Now, if you're standing on the side of the road watching this crit go by, and you know that every lap has points and yada yada yada. I mean, you're talking, we need a Jumbotron now so I can see what the point scores are. Or, okay, just came up with another one, an app that sends it digitally to your phone, so you have a score showing you what riders are constantly in lead. See,
Is this 3 weeks?
You do this on the other show too, you guys, with your QR code.
Yeah.
And permanent numbers on people's jerseys.
Well, that's what these guys are doing, though. These guys are doing that. They are doing permanent numbers in the kit itself. So the back of your jersey says 12, and it has your name, your last name above or underneath it. Why?
You know, Ineos used to have names. They were on the side.
Mm-hmm. Why are we still doing this? Why are we still?
No.
Legion was like, their whole philosophy was that they have a jersey that only the team members have, and they have a jersey and other swag that they like sell to the public, right? Because it's like a true NBA like jersey. You can't buy that, but they have like replicas that are, and so it makes it more special for the people who are on the team.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's feeding into those big MLB, like, you know, NL, like NBA, like all of those, you know, leagues that already exist. It's like making it more special. You have a number that's actually on your jersey.
Yeah.
That person is someone you follow.
That somebody's still having to pin on a jersey for Geraint Thomas at this point in his career is just absolutely lunatic, just idiotic. Well, I mean, my God, come on, put number 3 Ineos is always going to be Geraint Thomas,
Number
no matter what
one,
race.
that guy's been there for the longest.
Remove this reward that the number 1 on each team has to be the team designated leader. We don't need that anymore. What we do need is we need permanent numbers. So I know education first, rider number 3, notice I said the same number, is always going to be Richard Carapaz. And I know that number 3, oh my God, he keeps doing it, on Direct Energy is Peter Sagan. It's okay that they're the same number. It's a different kit.
Yep.
So,
Well, I mean,
Fix it.
even the only drawback is you would be doing in that case between Bahrain, Victorious, and Ineos. You're like, oh, no, it isn't.
it's the
Yeah,
orange.
it's the orange. So I would say dedicated, you know, the tens or the single digits go to this team based on UCI points. So there you go. So
I like
Quick
that.
Step
I
are
like
all
that.
1 through
Yeah,
30.
1
Well,
through-
there'll be 30 something actually because they have 30 guys.
Yeah.
And so then you would have to go to the next team based on that. And every year you would recognize
Or just
who's what,
randomly hand them out.
the numbers.
Yeah.
Did you like actually get like heat installed in this room?
Yeah, I've just been running it more often.
That's
Nice
crazy.
shirt, Sam.
Thank you.
I wore that yesterday.
Let's get to the topic
Great
for
shirt.
tonight, you guys. Tonight's topic brought to us by our friends at Giro Sports. That is right. I said Giro Sports. We have 2 helmet sponsors. Oh, but have you seen Giro's shoes? Jackson saw them on Christmas morning, and I think he finally didn't do the Dudley from Harry Potter and said, last year I had 37. No, he was cool with the amount of presents he got this year because he opened up those shoes thanks to our friends at Giro. Absolutely gorgeous freaking shoes. Although he might have to wear double socks until July.
Are they BOA?
Yeah, they're BOA. They are so light, and they're almost transparent, but they're beefy. They're really beautiful shoes. They're gorgeous works of art. Let's not beat around the bush here. There are POC heads, especially on this crew, and there are Giro heads in this crew, and then there's Sam with his one in the middle, and we won't talk about that. Either way, you're in great hands. So, gentlemen, let's make some predictions for 2023. We are likely to probably maybe make it around 40% of success rate because, you know, we always tend to, it's a random sport, right? But what the heck? So I sent you guys earlier today some categories and we can see what you guys think of my categories, and people at home, we can allow them a couple seconds to think about it. And I even have Nightwing's responses here in front of me.
First, then.
I will do his first. So, for examples, the first category is the best team of the spring classics will be blank. And Jackson said, Jumbo-Visma, all I can say is Wout. That's what Jackson's convinced is going to be the team. Does anybody want to follow up on that, or should I go second? I personally feel that Wout's got a limit. I think this is unbelievable to see a rider do. When is he going to run out of gas?
Yeah.
I think Mathieu.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mathieu is going to be back just because, like, Wout's been going since
Forever.
forever.
Since
like,
COVID.
He did great springs last year. Mm-hmm. And then he did, like incredible at the tour.
Yeah.
Like, and then he's doing incredible at cross.
Yeah.
He cannot. There's no way.
Yeah. So the best team of the Springs Classics will be Paul.
Sedal Quick Step.
Sedal Quick Step. God,
Yeah,
that sounds so wrong hearing those sponsors in one.
I'm
name.
practicing. That's
Yeah,
why I
you're
had to
doing
do
well. You're doing well.
I wrote down Quick Step Sedal, but it's
Yeah.
actually Sedal
Yeah.
Quick Step. So, they have Askren. They had a rotten year, but anybody would believe me. Lotto Sedal last year
Mm-hmm.
would take half the points that they got, but we're used to seeing them win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Alaphilippe had a really just one of those bad years where he was off the bike more than he was on.
Yeah.
From crashes from, Strada Bianca all the way down. So, but yeah, they got Askren. They took on a couple of hardcore workers that came in. So yeah, I think for the Spring Classics, they'll do well. And I think getting back to the Jumbo Visma, I think they're going to be focusing a little bit more on the Tour.
Yeah.
So I think Wout's not on his own. They'll have Christophe Laporte and a bunch of other like Nathan. Van Hooijdonk. So those guys will certainly help out Wout. But in my opinion, Wout's gonna focus on Paris-Roubaix. I think that's what he really wants to win, or Tour of Flanders. But I think Roubaix is more his style.
I think the Wolf Pack.
Same
You do.
thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What'd you pick, Pat?
The best team of Springs Classics. I always write these things out, but I don't actually think about my responses. I'm going to agree with you guys. I think it's going to be a Sedal Quick Step, just because they always seem to be on that, and Patrick Lefebvre seems to be so hell bent on that realm of the season. Although I think he's found a real joy in this Evenepoel kid, and things are going to tweak there quite a bit. So next one, best day of racing will happen at blank. Jackson said the Tour de France. That's a day of racing? Jackson. Pogacar Vingegaard battle will be interesting with the new team members of UAE, as he said. I will go next. I think the best day of racing is going to happen at Strada Bianca. I just think that race has become almost poetic, and I know Paul's going to disagree with me, so I'll let Paul go next.
Well, I shouldn't even answer because everybody knows.
Yeah.
It's Paris-Roubaix. I mean, every year I've watched it. There's only been a couple of years that I'm like, and that was I think 2012, the last year that Bonin won, and he attacked. It was 60K to go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe inside 60K, and he just soloed away, and that's not exciting. That's very few. Usually it's because there's so many different variables happening, flats, that type of thing. Everything's on edge.
Yeah.
So, Paris-Roubaix.
Sam, best
What
day of
am I
racing.
thinking of? Wevelgem or something like that. Why
Gent
can't I-
Wevelgem?
Yeah,
Gent Wevelgem that's a week before Flanders.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's in the.
That's going to be the best day. Really?
I'm throwing
It's
it out
just-
there
it's
to the
okay.
wind. I'm
Okay.
throwing it out there to
It's
the wind.
always
It's
a
gonna
good
be
race.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
is. It's
Yeah.
always a good race, but I'm like,
Why not, right?
why not?
Yeah, okay.
Like, I'm not going to pick one of the big ones.
Third one, I predict a big finish from blank. A big finish
Like
from
a rider?
blank. I think that's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. I think so too, because that's what I wrote down.
Jackson said Pogacar. I think this is going to be an even bigger year than last year for him. God, that's a good one. That's a good response.
Well, you got a fourth in Flanders and a second in
Eddie won Strada Bianca.
and one. That's his only.
That's the big one.
And then he won.
Did he win one of
Lombardia.
the Flemish? Oh, he didn't. Oh, he won Lombardia. That was a great race.
Yeah.
That was a great race.
Yep.
Um,
He bookended
Yeah.
his wins. Yeah.
Jeez, that's a great point.
Lampard's going to
Lampard?
do well. In the
Wow,
classics.
my God, you love your old
Yep.
good.
He's a good old guy. and
Boys.
He's Flemish and yeah.
You're still saying Oscar too. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old he is. How Casper Oscar? Probably
Casper
going
Asgreen
30s.
is probably 28.
28.
Yeah,
28.
28.
Yeah.
Even older, Peter Sagan.
I think
You
he's
expect
gonna
great things.
You know what? Here's the thing. I do really like Peter Sagan. Like,
I do too.
I was a fanboy of Peter Scott back when, especially when he did Richmond.
Before
right?
Jackson?
Yeah.
Are you going to say that?
Yeah.
All right.
But like when
He's
he
not
did
here,
Richmond,
so,
because
yeah.
I raced that race as well.
Yeah.
It was like blew my mind away. I'm total fanboy. But like the guy over the last several years going through divorce, going through like, multiple rounds of COVID.
4 times or
yeah,
something
exactly.
like that. Yeah.
I'm like, this is his year. He's going to get a big win.
I'm going to agree with you, Sam, and I'm probably cursing him by saying that, but I agree with you.
Why did you do that?
I want something out of Peter. I want something, Peter. Next one, I predict huge growth this year from blank. The Jackson said Tom Pidcock. Does he focus on the classics or the Grand Tours? I think if Tom Pidcock focused on the bigger race, Bill, I think Tom Pidcock's a good tour guy.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
I was
Not
kinda-
overall.
No, but he could do some good stages. He
Yeah.
proved it on Alpe d'Huez last year. So
Oh my God, poetry. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say the same answer, especially because what was it? He was talking about focusing on less power and losing a little bit of weight for more of the Grand Tour stuff. So I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
I said Arnaud Delay. He's a young sprinter for Lotto. Now that they're just a continental team or whatever. Pro.
Yeah.
That kid won 9 of their victories last year. He's 21. You're going to see he's going to be the up and coming sprinter. Badass, I think.
I think Caleb Ewan's going to have a huge year. I also think that because out of spite, out of anger, and I think that I think Michael Matthews is going to still have a good year. I believe in that dude. I believe in the
Steady
boy.
Eddie. He's steady Eddie. I don't think he's.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna do anything great, but
All right. Number 5, the team that will surprise everyone. Jackson says Intermarché want to go Gobert, obviously because Guérin, is going to have a hell of his season. I'll go next. I think Education First is going to have a hell of a year.
I'm with you.
Do you?
Yeah, I
Really?
agreed. Yep.
Really?
I think they just had off, and I think there was a lot of transition with Alex Howell, and
yeah.
they're trying to fill out multidiscipline. I think they're a little more focused this year.
I hope they keep doing the multidiscipline stuff, though. I hope they sponsor some riders, but I don't know what
Yeah, it'd be
Lachlan
good
they're
for
not
cycling,
doing.
but-
Are they doing the Gone Racing and all the
I don't-
alternative
They
stuff?
just released one about 3 days ago.
right,
Great
but that's
video.
the end of the.
Is
It's
that
not
it?
continuing
Yeah.
2023, from my
Nope.
knowledge. They're done with alternative.
That's
I know it's a
That's what
bummer
I'm
because like
saying.
Lachlan Morton.
Lachlan's
Dude,
going
just-
to do something else.
Yeah, I know. Like what
Alex
a
is done.
bummer.
I
Anyway.
think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will, but I think it was their most effective PR,
100%
almost over the pro team.
for the
Well-
cost that they put into that.
Yeah.
100% grew cycling. I think also around the U.S. the most out of anything that's been done.
Well, and I can't argue with that, but I think if they were more successful in the European scene, that would be a different story. They
Sure.
weren't very successful.
Sure.
So this
Yeah.
is their for the U.S. what we watched, that Gone Racing is tapping into something that's fresh and new.
Yeah.
But in Europe, it's like, yeah, what is this? Yeah, okay. But
But
have
the
they
other,
done that?
but the other thing is like they're an American team, right? And they, like, Americans. I'm sorry. You ask any person, like I'm like, oh yeah, race bikes and bikes. Like, oh yeah, like Tour de France. I'm like,
Kind of.
I don't really know. Sure, think tour.
That happens
Yeah.
even in England.
No, I
Yeah,
get
it's-
that, but I'm just like Americans don't really get that, and I think even when you're a cyclist, like few people follow it like we do, and so I think like that Gone Racing did great for like showing what's around locally.
Well, then again, I would just to be the devil's advocate. Like, I could ask my family; they only know road cycling because of me. They wouldn't know anything. They probably didn't even know gravel is a thing. The average American still doesn't know. It's tapping into American cyclists again. It has to break. The only hope for Americans to understand, in my opinion, is the crit scene. It's going to tap into other
I
people.
agree. We were
But-
talking earlier about that league, NCL. That if you encapsulate that with fixed cameras, moving throughout, you get people operating the cameras. You've got an enclosed course of 1 to 2 miles.
High energy.
It's built in.
Yeah.
It's built
To watch
in.
people go down 17 miles an hour. We know do 17 miles an hour on those big, thick wheels in the gravel. That takes a lot of effort. But that's not exciting to sit on the side of the road and watch it go by.
It's like watching a road stage.
Yeah, exactly.
A transition road stage.
Exactly right.
And it is boring, but it's a beautiful thing to experience.
Absolutely.
But it's a
Can't
horrible
take
thing
that
to
away
watch.
from- no.
It's a
Yeah,
terrible
yeah.
thing to watch.
Yep.
And we are not obviously at the technology realm where gravel can be televised properly.
Yep.
It's too remote. Camera, I mean, my God, Unbound,
Well, and you
Unbound
still-
this year was a train wreck. I still, my heart breaks for Frankie Andreo, who had to try and fill like 4+ hours
Of
of
nothing.
just talking to random people. It's like, hey, let's talk to the guy who owns the open crate. Hey, you sell ice cream, don't you? Come on over here, talk to us, buddy. Tell me what
God,
the
help
most
me.
popular flavor is. Tutti Frutti. Who'd have thought it? Oh my God, let me die. Yeah, that's what I think Frankie was going through at that moment. It's terrible. Did we cover all that? Team that everybody's going to be surprised by?
The next-
Sam
Well,
didn't get
okay,
to.
yeah, I want to say, is it surprised by like greatest growth or someone who's just going to be like,
A team that's just going
oh
to
yeah,
like
open
this.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Okay.
have the most to gain.
Like, wow, I didn't expect EF to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The winner of the Giro will be blank. Oh, I got to go with Jackson first. My phone keeps going to sleep. Oh, that was big. Jackson did not explain beyond 2 words. He said Remco Evenepoel.
I said the same.
You did.
It'll be a good Giro. But
Yeah.
I think there's three TTs, and that's where he's going to rack up his time.
I don't know the roster. I know Garrett's going.
There's quite
Yeah,
a
but-
few. God, what
Is Jay going back?
no, he's going. Last I heard, he was
He's
going
gonna
to
tour?
the tour.
Yeah.
Jay Vine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, oh, you're saying Jay Vine.
Oh,
I was thinking last year's winner.
Yeah,
what's
Jay
his name?
Vine won last year.
no, he didn't.
No, you didn't. It's
Am I going to have to look up? Are we
yeah,
that old?
because
I thought he took it from
I'm 2.5
Carapaz.
years. No, you're thinking it. Yeah, he did, but it's a different guy. It's not Jay Vine.
Jai Hindley.
Jai Hindley.
Jai
thank you.
Hindley.
There we go.
God,
Yeah,
the Australian.
Jai Hindley
yeah,
is
yeah.
going to the tour.
Okay,
last
that's
I
what I
heard.
was thinking.
Oh,
So.
okay.
Maybe
So,
not.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to screw Geraint Thomas's potentially last year.
I would like
being
to see him win it.
professional.
I think that would be
I'd love
great.
to see him win it.
I
I'd love
would.
to see him win it.
Has he won the Tour of Spain?
No.
No.
Just do that one, bud.
He's doing the Giro because of the more time trial.
Actually,
Yeah.
the only one that I do know he's doing it that could be a wrench in it, and that's if he can stay upright, is Roglic.
yes,
Roglic is doing it,
That's
and
a
he
great
has
point.
something to prove.
Where's Richie Port these days?
He
Retired,
is
done.
sitting on a beach, mate.
You can thank him
God,
Yeah.
for some
You're
retirement.
the
Every
worst.
time I basically put Richie
You
Porte
ended
into
his
retirement
career.
because they kept picking him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, he's going to do well. He's going, he crashed.
Stage 9.
He's going to be doing he
Stage
crashed.
9.
Yeah. So that's why I'm picking Geraint
Yeah.
Thomas. And well, Geraint Thomas has a magnet in his head.
So, Garrett, get your
attracts himself
affairs,
to
get
baby.
your affairs in order.
Yeah. Sorry.
This is the end. You're done after this.
The winner of the Tour de France will be question number 7. Jackson says, without question, Tadej Pogacar.
I agree.
You do. Really?
After the embarrassment of last year, 100%.
Do you think he went in a little dick swinging
Yep.
into this
No,
year?
I don't think that's in his nature.
What?
I think he was over.
No, just confidence dick
Yeah,
swinging.
like he was just
No.
like,
I got this. I'm going to attack
I
early. It's
think
week
he's never
one.
been in a position where he really had. It took Jumbo Visma. If Jumbo Visma didn't do what they were doing, he'd never been able to feel that pain. I don't think he's ever like Merckx in his early days. People say about suffering.
Yeah,
He says,
yeah.
I didn't know what it was until he crashed on the crashed on
He's
the
invincible.
track.
Yeah.
I think he was at that point. He found that point of like, oh shit, there's another level.
yep.
And so, but it took a team to do that, not an individual.
That's
and then
why.
UAE now has backed him up. They've recruited a lot of climbers and stuff.
Yep.
This is going to be a good year, but I still think he's going to win.
Let's also include winner of Tour de France Femme.
Monique van Vleuten.
You think she's
Yeah,
just gonna,
this is her last
yeah,
year.
yeah.
She's just going to go guns blazing.
Yeah. Sam.
I'm too far out of this. Is Voss still doing a thing?
Voss is still
Still
doing
there.
her
All right,
thing.
then I'm gonna
Voss is
go
still
Voss.
crushing. Voss will not win the
Is she
Tour
not
de France
doing it?
Femme.
She can't-
She will, but she'll win green or something like that.
Yeah.
But
No, she'll have been overall.
I don't think she's going to win it this year. I don't
Is
think Van Vleuten's
Dignam
gonna win
back
it this year.
also?
Lizzie
Isn't
Deignan
she-
is coming back this
Yeah.
year. Yeah. After having a.
She's
After
a
having
good
a
rider.
baby.
She
Yeah,
she does
so-
better on one day. I mean, she doesn't
Yeah.
do terrible in stages, but
Yeah.
the stage racers, what's her name? God, can't think of her name. She won a couple of hill climbs. In fact, beat Van Vleuten and put some pressure on her in the like any of the climbs, and even in Flesh Wallone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I haven't seen. To be honest with you, I'm not really even up on the men's Tour de France. You know, I know there isn't.
roster. Yeah. Yeah.
Have
Well,
they
even
heard
the
those?
parcours
No.
is the big thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
all I know is this year they're not finishing in Paris.
So that definitely answers a question for the response for the next one in terms of the women. The rainbow jersey will win a Grand Tour, yes
Yes,
or no?
it's Van Vleuten.
Van Vleuten will win a Grand
Yep.
Tour. A Grand Tour.
Probably all three again.
Jackson says yes because he was thinking about the dudes. He was thinking Remco's in great form, and I think the team trusts him now. Will Remco win a Grand Tour this year? I don't think he will. I bet.
You
he
I
will.
don't think he's
the
going to
Giro.
win the.
That's the only one he's doing is Giro. He may do the Vuelta if he doesn't win the Giro. He's not doing the Tour.
Yeah,
I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
Well, and it'll be interesting. Worlds is in Scotland.
Yeah.
You can talk to Gary about that. Scotland, he's in.
Yeah, whatever.
So I don't know what the parcours is like. Is it more of a classic style? Is it,
I don't know.
you know, I don't think they have major climbs there. So it would lean towards possibly Remco again.
I used to have a really good Gary impersonation
Gary?
in the tank, and I can't do it anymore because he usually kind of. I can't.
Oh, he
I
has.
can't quite do it.
Is he from Glasgow?
I don't know where
Oh.
Gary is. Yeah, but
All right.
yeah, I just
I don't know where Gary
these are
is.
my online friends. It's
Yeah.
so funny. This podcast I've been doing with these people for so long. It's online, and then I don't know where they live.
Yeah.
I know they're over there. I know I
Over
have
the
to,
sea.
I know they're having
Yeah.
beers, and I'm having fucking coffee. There's my. Was that third?
That is
Yeah.
3.
Okay, I'm doing
You're
pretty
doing
well.
Yeah.
really
I'm
good.
doing really well.
Although I think
It's
the
stealing
new
my
year-
character away from me, isn't it? It's taking something.
I think it's
taking
adding.
a bite out of the show.
I think it's adding.
Do you go in
It's
the
adding.
bathroom?
We're
and just,
going to the. It's like we're going to the next level. We're gonna like use those as like
Sponsors are going to be more happy with
No,
people
not
who
that.
don't drop f-bombs in the show. Is that
No,
what you're
not
saying?
that.
What the
It's
fuck
just-
are you talking about?
Last one for the race season, and yes, we do. We have been talking about road a lot, but it's open to talk about mountain and gravel. The biggest advancement in cycling tech will be blank.
mountain bike.
Wow,
Or you just
right
pick
out of there.
a specific
In cycling
product?
tech? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. All
The
of the
mountain
tech
bike.
is pouring into mountain bike right
You
now.
think so? Yeah.
All of it.
I think that's where
Have you
people are
guys
riding.
seen the wheels, the zip wheels that just came out that are carbon fiber and they're like motocross wheels and that they actually literally flex laterally to when you look at these things with slow mo.
Literally, laterally. You said literally.
Literally,
in a sentence, and
laterally.
my brain exploded.
Yeah. 10 times fast, guy.
Yeah.
And so when you see it going down a straight line with like rocks, it's literally finding the smoothest line. It is wackadoodle. It is what motocross has done for years, and the bike industry made it carbon fiber lightweight.
What is this witchery you speak of?
I'm telling you, I do not support mountain biking. I'm not a mountain biker.
I am.
That's
I love mountain
wrong.
biking. I do. No, I love it.
I do too. I
I
just
did the
only like,
Leadville in 2016, and I loved it, and I would do something like that again. Yeah. The
if
medal-
I had
medal's
okay,
right there.
okay.
It's my
But
Leadville medal.
if I had a cross country mountain bike, 100% on board.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
what
not
I
trying
ride.
to do gravity stuff, and that's what these wheels are tailored towards.
Oh, okay.
Like these are downhill mountain bike wheels.
oh,
Yeah.
If you roll up to the start with a cigarette,
If you got a chairlift to the top,
yeah.
yeah,
You got a blunt?
yeah, yeah. That's
Now I support that. But anyway, Jackson said attempts in combining aero and lightweight. That's I love you, buddy, but that's a cop out.
true. Yeah, that's also been going on for the last
Yeah,
30
yeah.
years.
Yeah, yeah. He said bikes, not clothing.
Well, I can see. I'll stick up for him. I can see in the industry making an effort. Before it was all aero,
Yeah.
and now
weight.
weight was first, and then they went to the aero and electronics. Now we had Now
And
we
stuff
don't.
got
They
heavy,
never
though.
talked about the
Yeah.
weight stuff, and now people are like, "Wait a minute, these things are 18 pounds." I mean, I
Yeah.
had a titanium frame back, 25 years ago. That
Yeah, I mean, look at the
Did that,
Venge
so-
in 2014, 15 versus the Venge now.
yeah. So I'll stick up for him on that.
All right.
And
Still
I
wrong.
say none, because the industry's in a crisis right now.
Suffering.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge
Because-
crisis. They are switching to disc brake. We are going to hell.
No, but I am going to touch on those
cats
Yeah.
living together.
Oh my God.
hysteria. Yeah.
Man has no dick. No, really, literally. So, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Just in case you're confused.
Yeah. People go, what?
I say no because the industry's really suffering right now because during COVID and everything, there was no stock, no shipping or anything, and then all of a sudden, nice reverb on that.
I just hit my own mic with a glass. I've been broadcasting for
have another shot.
I'm at 3 fucking decades.
4.
And I just hit my own mic with a glass. I am an asshole. Anyway, Paul.
Well, why I say this is because the industry is suffering because they're ramped up. They finally can go forward, and all of a sudden people lost interest. And I also throw in they got too freaking expensive.
Yeah.
Just totally out of control, and therefore all of a sudden everything's sitting at to replace my bike if it got hit.
Yep.
I mean SRAM. Just think SRAM red. Well, there's no mechanical, so it's got to go electronic.
This is applause because I
Thank
could
you.
not agree with you. Cycling has got so expensive.
It's out of control.
Bullshit.
And then I got to pump the brakes. I can't,
Pump
I'm
the
not
rim
gonna
brakes.
pump the rim brakes.
Yeah.
Like if something
Rim
happened to
brake
my bike,
pads, $50.
I know,
It's unreal.
I know because I have to buy the
I
damn
know.
thing. I've
He's
got to stop.
stockpiling them like a
Anytime they
white
go on
woman
sale.
at pre-COVID
That's right.
with
God.
toilet paper.
I've got 11-speed chain rings, chains. I'm seriously
He's
cables.
going till death.
Yeah.
Did I say
Anytime
mine?
could.
I did not say mine. My biggest.
But I just want to finish up real quick.
Please.
So we are going to see like things discounted, I think, and the industry is actually kind of going backwards a little bit, and so I think we do need to pull back. This is crazy, coming up with $20,000
It's
freaking
lunacy.
stupid bikes.
You know what I hate to say? I disagree with you because I think they're gonna go bigger and harder. And
Oh no,
no, I think
I got it.
I think gravel suspension is going to be the next thing.
Look at the diverge.
Everything's incorporated into stem internal shock mountage. I think it's going to be rear suspension. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to turn gravel into.
Have you seen the new diverge?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
everybody's going to do it.
Yeah. I think we're going to get flooded with
Well,
that.
I wonder, and I mentioned this before the week that I didn't show up. I said to you that Specialized took all their ambassadors, the gravel,
Yeah, they're gone.
They're gone. The thing is everybody dumped in a lot, thinking there's going to be return. I think there's going to be on the gravel. Not saying it's going to fade away. I'm not saying that, but everybody was anticipating a certain point, and I think COVID and the way the industry and the way shipping and everything, there's a lot of variables that are changing the industry. I think suspension on it depends on what kind of. The problem is there are too many different types of gravel. So you're not going to benefit with the gravel roads basically around here. Suspension is not really
Definitely
not needed until you start getting in single tracks.
But I'm running 70 pounds PSI.
You see,
so,
you're an idiot. We've had this discussion. So there's no way if I'm running as wide of tires you have over 45 pounds. There's no way.
No.
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 I always
No.
bumped him to 100.
No.
But my
No.
road bike's 120.
Yeah.
Oh.
You flick it.
Why
Now,
are
I
you
do want to touch.
Gee,
I
Pat,
like-
why are your shoulders sore all the time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will
That's
say,
why.
maybe not this year, but in the future, those wheels for downhill, they have to do that with disc brakes on road. Eventually, a smaller version of that, because what you have to do you cannot have on rim brakes. You have a little bit of looseness. Seriously, when you go into
I
corners,
know
they
where
do
you're going
deflect,
with this.
and then it's a true story.
Right.
You have to have rigid spokes, those wheels. So when you go in the corner, there's no that kind of give. So that's where your traction. If you have rigid, that's where suspension is important.
Yep.
And the spokes are part of that suspension. If you have a rigid wheel that you have to have on rim brakes, then
You
what you have
wake
to
up
do.
at
I
like
have-
3 a.m. thinking about
I have
things.
one
And
more-
This is what he wakes up at 3
I have one more
thinking
F
about.
bomb left, and it's going to be used right now. This is the fucking hill you're going to die
You
on,
want-
isn't it, Paul? This is
No.
the hill you're going to die on.
It is.
This
It
is
is.
the
It
rim brake hill.
It is the truth, but nevertheless, I will not convince the
Follow
world.
me, guys.
It won't.
Death
You know what?
before
No.
disc.
I'm
Yeah.
asking nobody to follow me. I'm just speaking the truth. Damn it!
I'm with you. I still like. I have a stockhold of parts in my basement so that I do not have to get rid of my road bike that is rim brake. But
Let's go to personal predictions and personal
Okay.
goals.
yeah, let's go on to the
second
next.
category.
How did we get onto disc brakes again?
Well, because Paul's sitting at the bar.
Oh yeah, good point.
I hate them. Oh, they're evil. They're good for everything but road bikes.
The first one is, and I want everybody to play along with this at home. And if you are listening right now, and if you want to send any of the responses to any of these, do it to us. Send it to our Facebook page. Send it to our. Does anybody use Facebook anymore? Send it to our. I'm on Post, and I'm on what's the other, Mastodon and Twitter and all that stuff. But
What is post?
Post is an alternative to Twitter. It's
Huh.
yeah, because Twitter's being run by
Yeah.
yeah. So send us your responses if you want. We have our own Facebook group, so send it to that. I will blank in 2023, and I don't want it to be disgusting. I don't want it to be, develop a drug addiction or
Bourbon.
kill a man to watch him die or anything like that. You will what?
I will bourbon.
Bourbon. Well, that's a given. So, for example, Jackson said, I will try to find more races in 2023. That is the most weak response, but it is Jackson. So we got to
I
understand.
love
if
him.
Jackson's
He's so
like,
wholesome.
I'll try.
gonna
Things might work
support
out.
everybody.
Yeah.
I can't
I
wait
don't think
till
it'll
he's
be
back
fine.
next week
I
and just
know.
fries your hide.
Oh, he's gonna listen to this. He's gonna like, I hate my dad.
Yeah.
I hate him. I said I will race outside the box in 2023.
And what does that mean?
That means I'm going
Gravel
to. I've been doing gravel for for a long time, but I'm going to try to get out of Dodge a little bit more. I'm going to try to go beyond my little comfort bubble. I'm going to try to go across state for a 1-day crit. I'm going to and not complain about it. I own an RV. I have a family who loves to travel, or my wife could look at me and say, "Go, just go." And I'm going to do that. I'm going to think outside the box in terms of racing, and I'm going to try to be a little bit more inclusive, and do some random stuff. Like I signed up for that race in Whitefish, just because it seems cool. I will suck at it because it's a lot of climbing, but I'm going to think outside the box. Anybody?
My cop out answer, and because I would say that I'm on your same board. I'm going to sign up for some gravel races.
I
and
believe
I'm
sign
on
up
board.
is the key.
That's what I said.
Phrase.
I'm signing
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
I didn't say I'm racing them. But no, I am totally down to do West Side crits anytime.
Yeah.
If people aren't bored with that, I have so much family over there. I have places for everybody to stay.
Yeah.
I'd love to go do West Side crits. Those are a blast, but there weren't really any last year.
Yeah.
No.
So, but man, locally, I'm gonna rip people's legs off. I'm
You
telling
almost said
you, I
something.
am gonna crush souls
So you will race. You will rip legs off. That's
every
your 2023.
Thursday night.
Oh God. Okay.
I plan on making people hurt.
This is a call out to Spokane people.
All
Yeah, yeah,
Spokane, all Greater Spokane, show up. I will hurt you.
Yep.
That was the arms on the bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul, what you will blank in
I will
2023?
race and train 4 days or more a week, and I haven't done that for a long time.
Paul's coming
That's a
out
good goal.
hot this
That's a
year.
good goal.
This is the
Yeah,
year
because
of
I
Paul.
averaged like 2. The
That
year
is
before that is
diarrhea.
1 day a week.
That's constipation.
Yeah, I was constipated. Then I had the runs. I'm gonna get normal. I'm gonna be totally.
Can we discuss
Regular.
the name of this
I'm gonna be regular.
podcast tonight?
I will be regular tonight. and for the rest of the year.
Next one. My goal is to blank in 2023. It sounds similar to the last one, but I said people pick 3 things. Jackson said he will win or be competitive in all local races. Whoa. Reach a level where I can race with teammates, which means Jackson wants an upgrade this year. And I like that. I think he can do it. Yeah, Sam's given
God, I'm so stoked about
and
that.
he will, the third one, get more involved with the local cycling community. What is he going to start a podcast?
Oh,
No,
boy.
that doesn't.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah. It's going to be nice and no
Yeah.
F-bombs.
Yeah.
And
Everybody likes Jackson.
probably entertaining.
Yeah.
Jackson's Corner.
He's sober.
Yeah.
You know.
Welcome to Jackson's Corner.
Oh my God, there's a segment.
Yeah.
New Jackson's Corner. I'm going to 15 start lines. I'm going to lose 15 pounds. And my goal is that this is, because I wanted to keep it the number,
Mm-hmm.
15,000 K for the year. That's like 3,000 miles, right? 3,000 miles for the year. Well, I'm doing long distance.
I gotta
do
look
some
up my
gravel.
numbers like real fast and see, because I think that's like significantly more than what I did this last year, and I did a lot.
I know I'm in trouble. That's
You
a
might
goal.
be.
I'm not going to say it's real. Paul?
Mine are do a race at least once a month into September. District championships and won a podium. That's my goal. And Masters Nationals. Fingers crossed on that one. It's all about what time, when they're going to do it. It is in September, which is fine, but it's got to be
Yeah.
where it's not going to be a conflict.
This fall thing. Come on.
I know, because you're a teacher, but it doesn't matter what day it
I
falls
don't.
on me.
It's not even because I'm a teacher. It's like, come on.
No,
Nationals happen in late July, early August. That's just where they should happen.
You don't want to race in Augusta, Georgia in August. You don't.
That's a
The
great
humidity.
point.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah,
point.
it's
Sam?
too much.
I hate myself for my first 2 answers.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to say this. First off,
Sound like
I would
me.
like to support more local race riding, right? Like I want to do the Thursday night things.
Yeah.
Those are happening. I'm going to commit to those.
Yeah.
So I want to do that. I want to hopefully help out with putting on some races here locally. I want to step, not personally, I'm going to say that. I want to step outside of road cycling, just to grow the ambassador like bike fit business, and I want to be present at more different events. God, I really hate triathlons, but I want to be at triathlons.
Follow this guy.
God, I feel sick for some reason. Is this like,
You should come announce with me.
okay.
You should do
Game
some
on.
announcing gigs.
Yeah, no, I'll do that with you.
It's
That's
easy.
a great, okay, that made things easier.
It's easy.
That's easier.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to do that, and then I want
Put a little
to,
coin in your pocket, too.
yeah, I wanted RC3. I want Jackson to be there.
Yeah.
I would love it if David was there, but being a resident, you just never
No.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just never know.
12
And then-
hours.
Yeah.
State champ time trial. I have way too nice of a bike to not race that this year. And I'm not just donating to those 2 events.
You were. Yeah. You're like, somebody come take my bike.
Yeah. Anyone want to take my bike so I can say it just wasn't available?
Oh, man.
Those are my things.
My last one is.
What were your 3?
Oh. Did I say them? I did. I did 15,
Yeah,
15,
15.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, 15, 15. Because I like to keep it thematic.
Mm-hmm.
I like
These
to
are
just
what
be
these are what
cheesy.
Pat's thoughts in 3 a.m. are.
This is, I swear to God, it is a little bit that I came up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
15, 15, 15. And in my
and then you had to
brain,
come up with what was 15
yeah,
because you only had one.
yeah. I think I
Started off
it started
with 15.
with a weight.
Yep,
Started with a
I
weight.
know it did, and then it was like, oh, races. Yeah, I
How
like
can
to
I time
support
that
15
in?
races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Sam, for revealing my cards to the entire table. I'm just I don't know.
What you got there, Pat?
Yeah, exactly.
What's in your hand?
Yeah, it's bad. We do have to do a quick tip. I
Yes.
hope you have one.
Yep.
Do you got a quick tip?
Yeah, I
quick
do.
tip was Bike Fit Sam, sponsored by Ambassador Cycling, and I'm going to put the camera on you because you got a really cool T-shirt on there. young
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
That was just lucky too,
I
because I was
was.
wearing that shirt at work all day.
Right, man.
But anyway, so we touched on cleat placement, we've touched on saddle fore and aft, and we've touched on handlebars. Right, just like briefly over all of them. circle back to saddle. We didn't touch on like saddle height. This is something that I actually taught like all of the local bike shops. Just like, this is going to keep you safe. You're not going to do something wrong. Put on your cycling shoes, right? Sit on your bike and put your heel on the, it's old school. Put your heel on the pedal.
Yeah.
You're going to be close. Like, you may not be perfect with that because like foot size, all of this comes up with different reasons, but you're close. So do that, and then pay attention to, saddle pressures too. This is the other one that I want to touch on.
I remember my saddle my heel used to barely touch. Barely, like in
Like
some
if you
cases
fully
it would.
extended.
You're looking at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So if the pedal is all the way at the bottom, and try to keep your sit bones right.
Yeah.
Straight on the saddle,
If I
because you
lean
got to do it.
over,
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
good.
Because you got to
Yeah,
do it on
yeah,
both
yeah.
sides. You should be able to touch your heel on both sides with keeping your try doing a couple pedal revolutions, and you should be able to get to fully extended at the bottom of the pedal crank.
Yeah.
With your heel.
That's a great.
And you're
little-
within range. Like that's like these are the tips that I treat, like all of the local bike shops with. So this is gonna make people safe.
Yeah.
Yep. And then like beyond that, if you're having saddle discomfort, pay attention to where that is, because we can discuss that next time.
Fore and aft and
More of
actually-
like, like if you have like a lot of pressure in the front of the saddle, or if you have a lot of sit bone pressure, hamstring pressure, all that. Those are all different adjustments.
Someday we have to talk about the legitimate ignoring of saddle cream.
Oh yeah. And we should
Chamois
also
cream.
Oh yeah, and we should also
Not
talk
saddle
about
cream. Fuck 'em. Oh. Heck,
That's
my
6. He broke it.
terrible person.
He broke it. Mom. My mom's not going to let me come here anymore. My mom's going to be like, you are not allowed to go to Satan's house again. Anyway. But
We
no.
didn't talk about the book.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. So just finishing up with the saddle thing is that a big part of it is like everybody's like, oh yeah, I got to just break it in for every year. And it's there's no break-in period. Either it's right or it's wrong is truly it. That's what it comes down to. If you're like, oh, well, I have to ride more this year.
Yeah.
You're wrong. It's the wrong saddle.
I sat in. I went on my first fit with you, and I was on the saddle that came with the bike.
Yes, yeah.
And you looked at me and you said, "What are you doing? You know you don't have to ride this just because it came with a bike, right?" And I'm like, "What?
What?
Let me show you a couple." And you showed me a brand, and now I'm like, I need every saddle that company makes to stockpile in a box in my house. For
Like
the
good running shoes.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but I heard that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Once you find the right one, you just put it on everything.
Oh,
That's how
absolutely.
I am.
Yeah, I've got the perfect one. for
Yeah.
everybody.
Except yours
That's
is
a
about
later episode.
6
That
feet
is
long. Yeah.
love it.
and shafted like 10 degrees too high.
No. It's at 4. We checked it. You're exaggerating.
Next year it'll be at 5.
No.
Just
It's always
out of
been at
spite.
4. It will never change. Just like my rim brakes. I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm stuck here.
Oh my God. Oh well, you guys. Lastly, before we close out, I want to say thanks to everybody out there. 2022 is an awesome year for the growth of the show. We welcomed and are continuing to welcome new sponsors. Our numbers have grown steadily in terms of listeners. We are constantly in the top 50 of the iTunes cycling-based podcasts. We peaked in the top 10 for a long time there. We've been the top-ranked show on Spotify several times, and I can't thank you guys enough for everything and all of the above. And of course, you guys sitting across the bar from me. I wish Jackson was here because I could say, "How'd that new mic work out, buddy?" But we'll obviously hit that in the next week's show. So
Thank you, Pat.
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
So and I guess
You're
I
the
wanted
one
to-
that comes up with the content.
You
on
are.
the show.
Yeah,
you pump it out every week.
I'd like to know what everybody would like to hear and see in the new year. So that's my challenge to everybody out there who listens to the show. Tell us what you like to hear and see. And when I say see, I mean see. I mean video content other than just me horribly doing the camera switching tonight.
He's doing it right now.
Yeah. I
Finally
was terrible
catching
at it.
up for all of the nights.
Jackson's like, who's talking? Okay. And I'm like, What? It's been on me for the whole time. God, my face looked fat that side. It's my ugly
Jackson,
side.
come back.
Yeah, exactly. We held ourselves well. Though.
We did actually.
We were adults.
And you only went over by one swear word.
swore over.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm ashamed.
I know, you dumbass.
Catch you guys next week.